Oh my gosh.
What? All right, we're on. We're live. Hi.
I don't have my top 5 written.
We're not starting the podcast yet. This is the pre-show.
I gotta think of what they
This
were.
is the missus again. She decided to come on the show since I don't have any friends.
No friends.
No friends.
Wait, so this is what, number 5? So 5 more podcasts and I get a puppy?
No, there's no deal like that.
I just made that deal.
And appearing for her last time on the show is the missus. Actually, I'm thinking about adding a new co-host for next year. So we'll see how that works. If it does. Where's my trash can? There it is. So yeah, a new co-host would be fine. That'd be fun. It looks like CJ and Mike are too busy. The last few times I've asked them, I didn't ask them for this one because they haven't responded the last few. So it's okay though. I mean, life gets busy, right? Mikey has a girlfriend. That's why he's busy. CJ has a kid, which is why he's busy. So yeah, those are both good reasons. But and look at that, already we got 4 viewers. I didn't even announce this one. I tried to get my little brother to be on the show. I told him about it. He said he was going to, and then he just kind of like disappeared. So I don't know where. I mean, like he didn't respond back to my text this morning. He knew we were having it. So I don't really know where he is, but I was hoping he would join because this is our 100th episode. And my brother, who was supposed to be on the April Fool's Day episode, was unable to make it. And so I wanted him to be on the 100th episode, and he said that he would, but then, of course, I guess he forgot, which happens. Sometimes people forget. And let's get this. We're going to get this started here. We're gonna record the podcast, of course, and then we're going to post it. I'll post it today, later on today. This is like the pre-show. There may be a little bit after. I may have the missus answer a few of your questions.
Please let them be easy.
We will take any questions about new cars that are coming out, like the Rogue One from Nissan.
Which I ended up not going with, by the way.
She did not.
I can't remember.
By today's drink sponsors, they're not sponsors. I'm drinking some Pepsi Max, and you are having some. And I've been drinking this the past few weeks. You've probably seen on some of the live podcast Monday and my live Q&A. I had a Sprite Cranberry, which they're not selling anymore in stores. I'm kind of bummed about that because the Christmas season is not over yet. Well,
I can't remember which one was.
That's okay. Keep working on it. If you only have 3, we can just go with that.
No, I have 4, but
okay.
The last one, which was number 4, I can't remember what it was.
Can't remember what it was? Crazy college days?
Nope.
No? Crazy as kids?
Maybe. I can't remember.
Oh, no. So we have a great topic here. Mrs., are you ready then?
No.
Oh, you're still going to want to get time.
You're the one. I said, give me time.
That's fine.
Said, let me go ahead and
Well, it's called Saturday Morning Samoflange. There's not that many minutes left in the morning. So,
there's plenty.
Well, we're about to see, Michael, how we're doing with the 100th episode. Hello, the other Michael as well. Thank you so much, guys. This has been a lot of fun. Actually, this has been a super fun week for me because I've been doing 3 now live podcasts, or 2 live podcasts and 1 live Q&A. This is so much fun. Everything should be live, right? You don't want Matt's Expanded Universe live. Matt's Expanded Universe is me thinking for a minute and pausing and getting interrupted, and then or Yubnub's not sitting right. I know something's wrong with him.
I'm going to take a second to think about what my last one was. I'll be right back.
Wait, you're leaving?
Yeah, he can fill in while I'm gone.
No, he can't fill in. Leave him there. Yubnub's not on this.
Oh my goodness.
Where are you going? Are you going?
I gotta think about what my last one was. I can't remember.
Okay.
And you're talking and it's distracting.
All right, no problem. I'm going to answer some questions then at this point. Wow. Impromptu questions that I'm going to answer. So if you have questions, have you heard about the TLJ car? It started a civil war for car enthusiasts. Ooh, we missed that for the missus. Hello. Who didn't like the new Star Wars movie? Me. Okay. I haven't seen it. In fact, a Matt chat about the new Star Wars movie, not pertaining to what it is, will be out shortly after this podcast. Well, shortly after this podcast, so probably this afternoon. I spoke, all right, CT301. I spoke to an editor at Del Rey who said the new Thrawn books fit into Legends pretty well. What do you think? Well, yeah, pretty well. But here's the thing. It doesn't matter. They think a lot of people are so confused about what we want. We don't want things fitting into Legends. We don't want Legends in the new canon. We just want more Legends, separate story. The Thrawn books have been consistent only because actually they're not. If you think about it, they kind of domino into the new canon by a lot. So they wouldn't naturally fit on their own. Yeah, I've seen people hammer them in. Thrawn's a little bit different. Zahn said on purpose he gave him some different aspects, and people have said they love those aspects. And that's fine. That's fine. I have no problem with that at all. But I don't care what Del Rey says, saying, "Oh yeah, come on, Legend." That's not what Legends fans want. Legends fans want more Legends stories, and that shouldn't be too much to ask for, because what if stories, an alternate universe, is something they could easily write about and have a lot of fun writing in. So I'm not about them pandering to me that way. That doesn't interest me at all. It may interest other people who are trying to combine both canons, which I'm not for. I've already given my reasons for that. But I mean, if it makes other people happy. Oh yeah, don't spoil anything from the new movie on the live Q&A, please. Thank you for that reminder. A bearded Matt. Yeah, I know, for real, right? I didn't shave when I got home when I got home from Phoenix. I haven't shaved since then. So yeah, it's after a few weeks. I'm eventually going to have to shave. I can't be scruffy looking at work all day long. This is roguishly good looking here. The missus likes it, but I was thinking about shaving it today. She said no, so we're going to keep it for a while. I want to see what I would be like if I was on Survivor for 39 days. This is what I'd look like on day 21 or whatever. I will send Yub Nub your love. Yub Nub sends the love back. But anyway, okay, Mrs. is back. Does she have it?
No, but I'll just
awesome.
make something up.
All right, so we're about to start this. Mrs., little check there. Look at you. Got the midges. Oh, yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah, be jealous, internet. Yeah. Yeah. We're making out after this podcast. Yeah. Okay, ready?
Sorry, guys.
Now, remember, you got to speak through the mic here. All right, here we go. Hi, folks, and welcome to Saturday Morning Samoflange. I'm Matt.
And I'm the missus.
Oh.
Because he had no other friends.
Oh.
No.
Hey, missus.
Hi.
How are you today?
Good.
We're doing this live on YouTubes as well. So YouTubes.
Joy.
Joy. Hey, we got a great topic for you, folks. It's top 5 fun, crazy things that have happened. Stories of our lifetime. And so I know where I put it. So we have I have a top 5. You have a top 4, right?
I'm
not looking at it.
I have a top 5. Well, I just found out about this morning.
Uh-huh.
So I did not have time to put together a good top 5. So I just went with things off the top of my head. And there's one that I cannot remember what it was. But I just made something up in the place of it.
Are all 5 with me?
No.
Oh.
But I'm sure yours are not with me.
Well, you'd be surprised. So actually 3 out of the 4, out of the 5 are you. Yeah, whatever.
2, 3. Okay, 3 of
That's because you don't have much fun with me.
Have something to do with
you don't have much fun with me. That's all right. I understand. Anyway. So I guess I'll go first since you have 4 and I have 5. Is that right?
I have 5.
Oh, you have 5. Oh, go right ahead, Mrs.
Oh, I get to go first?
Yes, you get to go first. Mrs. goes first.
So this one was the one that I just made up because I couldn't remember.
Made up the story?
No, I made up this number 5.
Right.
So my number 5 crazy fun things that I've done is your podcast.
Okay, can I go next?
Yeah.
Well, okay, all right. I have.
That's one I just had to throw.
Oh,
in
I
'cause
get to get
couldn't-
5. Got you.
Yeah, because I
Gotcha.
didn't know what. I can't remember what my other one was.
Okay, my number 5. One time, once upon a time, I used to have the wildest New Year's parties. In fact, we had one that lasted all night long, and I was way too old by then to enjoy that one.
It was so much fun.
I was like, 2:00. We're going to bed, right? We're ending this party. And then Megan goes, all right, who's ready to dance? And she turns on the music and everyone's like, yeah, everyone's dancing and everything. I was like, I'm not ready to dance. I'm ready to go to bed. And then it was like, after that, it's 4:00. I said, okay, now people are going to start slowing down.
Old man.
And then they said, let's watch a movie. I said, surely they'll fall asleep. No one fell asleep. They talked and laughed at the movie too.
I don't.
6 in the morning. I don't even remember. But y'all watched a movie too. And then at 6 in the morning, everyone finally went to bed.
I don't remember that, but okay.
Slept on our floor and everything. And I remember we went to bed at 6. And we crawled into bed and you went, that was the best New Year's party ever.
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
well, not
goodness.
ever, but it was great.
Oh, someone has another story about New Year's.
I don't.
Anyway, one of my I did have all-night parties. I used to have all-night parties all the time for New Year's. And people loved my all-night parties. Yep. And we had a lot of fun. And there was one year, I had so many people over, I didn't know who half of them were. And we filled up my entire apartment. We had to take the party out into the parking lot where people were bringing folding chairs out and just sitting out around my apartment. I mean, it went to the parking lot. There were so many people. In fact, to tell you this, my landlady came up to me the next morning, goes, so you had a big party here last night. I went, oh no. I thought, oh man, here comes my eviction notice, because we were everywhere. She went, well, I just want to say thank you for having my boys over. They wanted to go. I said, guys, y'all don't know him. He said, well, Mom, we'll be right back. And they said they had a really fun time. I went, oh, okay. I didn't even know they were there. And there was like tons of people who showed up and I didn't know who they were. Some of them were friends of other friends, like, you got to get down here. It's one of those big, raves. I don't know. But anyway, it was really packed. Everyone had to, it was BYOB. And the funny thing is I don't drink. So there was only 17 cases of liquor and beer at my house afterwards.
Only?
It filled up. I remember it filled up a corner of my kitchen. I was ticked off because I couldn't use a corner of my kitchen because so much liquor and beer, and I don't drink. So the next few parties I held, I said, no one bring any beer. I've got you covered. And they're like, what? And so they just would keep drinking it, and I keep throwing parties until they drink it all.
That was before my time.
Yeah, I know.
Sad.
But that was kind of crazy because I remember people were going, hey man, who's that? Who's that girl? I went, which girl? He went, that girl over there. I went, no idea, man. No idea. I don't know. Who's she with? He said, I don't know. It's like, talk to her. I don't know who she is. It was wild. Some people I didn't even realize were there until afterwards. They told us it was a great party. But that was the last one I threw, the last big one I threw, because I had to clean up for an entire week. I had to keep cleaning up the house because I kept finding beer bottles everywhere and trash everywhere. And I was like, I will never do this again. And I didn't for the most part besides us.
All right.
But anyway, crazy story number 5. Oh, all right. So what is number 4?
Okay, so my number 4 is, I think, one that we've already discussed before, if I'm not mistaken. But okay. So growing up, I was a huge Power Ranger fan, of the originals, not all this new and extra stuff that they've added. Right. So this is like a 2-part series, I guess, of number 4. Okay. But anyway, so we went to a Comic-Con and the Green Ranger was there, and we met him. Super nice. We got to take pictures and just talk to him. Then the next Comic-Con, like a year later, we went to, he remembered us. Okay, you know what? That was my honorable mention. Really?
That when we were traveling so much that everywhere we went, well, the second con we went to, he recognized you. And he said, yeah, you're from Louisiana, right? Yeah, you were at the last one a few weeks ago. And then we started talking to him and said, yeah, we're going to be at you told him, yeah, we're going to be at this one next week. He went, I'm going to be there. And he said, well, come by and say hello or something. You're like, Matt, I said, who? He said, Jason David Frank. I said, what? Why would he say hello? Well, we went by and said hello. And he saw us and went, hey, Matt. Hey, Megan. And we went, hey. He said, how's it going? I said, you liking it so far? cool. I'm gonna have to check it out. And we're like, yeah. And we were just walking up to his table while there's a line. We walked up, we talked to him like we were friends, and we walked away. And I remember, because it was that whole year, he kept seeing us and kept saying, Matt, Megan, what's up? He called out to us one year. Awesome. And I was going, he's a really nice guy.
He is super nice.
But then we just talked to him for a bit, and we asked him how his last trip was and where's he going next. And we're not going to that one. The next one we're going to is a month from now. And he's like, okay, well, I'll see you there. We're like, yeah, cool. And so he walked away. And then I looked at Megan. I was like, is it weird that we're on a first name basis with, because we said, okay, Jason, we'll see you then. I was like, is it weird that we're a first name basis with the Green Ranger? That's kind of wild.
That was awesome.
When you think about it. Now, he probably has forgotten us now because
it's been a few years.
It's been a few years since we've seen him. But that was really awesome. And I swear it was that one or the New Year's one. And I was like, oh, I'm going to go with that one. And if you didn't say it, I was going to make it an honorable mention.
Yeah. And it was a highlight of my year. Yeah. So it probably should have been higher on my list, but it's okay.
No.
So the second part to that, and the reason I did the two-part is because it was the same Comic-Con that they had like a Scream Queen contest. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Yes, I do. You should tell that story.
Oh gosh, that was the scariest moment of my life. But so I got to. There's this guy who was in the original, well, not original, but the new Jason Voorhees get up from Friday the 13th. And I guess because the actor was there, so it may have been him. I don't know. But anyway, it was an actor. It was a guy just dressed up as him though. Okay. But anyway.
Oh shoot, the guy was there. That may have been him.
Well, that's
the
what
actor was there. You're right. It may have been him.
It may have been him.
What's his name? The guy who's played Jason for several movies in the past. I can't remember his name.
Could have told you if you didn't just ask.
Go ahead.
But anyway, so I was like number 4, I guess, to go in this Scream Queen thing. But I was like, no, I got this because I watch these movies. They're stupid how they, act. But no, because that was real. Because when I did it, my screams and my scared was authentic. And I should have won, but I didn't. No. But I should have.
You should have.
But
it was really authentic.
Because I was fine up until he came around the corner and they called action, and then you had to participate, and then he's coming at you. Yeah, it was just everything that I thought I knew was just out. It was gone. So mine was real. Right. That was a highlight too. Right. That was fun.
Okay. All right. Javi just asked, other than books, do I buy any other things like action figures? I have a few, but not that many, right?
Yeah, just a few.
Not that many. Jason David Frank is awesome, they said.
He is awesome.
Power Rangers, my childhood favorite since forever. Yeah, some of these people have also met him. Anyway, all right. So here we go. Let's go to my next one, which my next one is number 4. This happened when I was 18 years old. I remember this because they had an adult baseball league for 18 and older. It was hardball league, not softball. It was very rare. And me and my dad got to be on the same team because my dad's like, hey, we let's play baseball together, because he knew I was kind of bummed because my last year in the city league did not go well. I went up to bat. I only hit singles if I hit it all. The ball, I was left-handed, so the ball hit me more than I hit it. And
take one for the team.
Yeah, that's what they told me to. The coach would say, step into the pitch, and I wouldn't. I'd get hit, and I'd go on base. So I really wasn't that good. Well, we were trying to beat in the tournament. We were trying to beat the number 1 team. It came down to us and them, and the bases were loaded. One of my friends was on the mound, and a bunch of my friends came to see me and cheer for me. Well, they decided that they liked Reed better, and so they switched bleachers and started cheering for him at the end. I saw them. They switched and went over to the bleachers and started cheering for him instead of me. And they came with me. I was like, what the heck? And when my whole team found out I was up to bat, they went ahead and packed their bags and left. They were leaving the dugout to go home because they didn't think they had a chance because I hardly hit the ball. And
how old were you?
16 or 17. This is the last year I was in the city leagues. And so I struggled as best I could against the pitcher. And then I struck out. And no one talked to me at the pizza party at all. The coaches had to sit by me. No one would sit by me either. So I was like,
sad.
yeah, I love baseball, and I sucked at it, and I was all depressed about it. And then the next year, my dad was like, hey, I found out they're doing an 18 and older. You want to do it? It's like, I was like, I'm going to be so sucky there. And Dad goes, I don't think kids your age are going to be doing it. He said, I think they may need young guys. And sure enough, he was right. It was a bunch of, we're talking late 20s or early 30s to 50s, like my dad was at the time, or late 40s, like my dad was at the time. And so it was those type of people. And those type of people, they need younger guys to be catchers because their knees work well, or pitchers because their arms don't give out. And so I got to be a pitcher because I couldn't be a catcher because I was left-handed. And so catchers can't be left-handed. So they said, okay, well, you can be the pitcher. I was like, shut up. That's awesome. And we were the worst team in the league. Thank you very much. Because I couldn't throw the ball that hard. And the most I was a bullpen. I'd throw a few in the bullpen, but the coach never would use me. They're like, we're not going to use this guy. We got other people who can throw better. But I was okay. And so we were terrible, actually. I was terrible at pitching. But then when we got to the tournament, of course, the last place team, which was us, who hadn't won, plays the number one team, which hadn't lost. And so everyone thought they were going to walk all over us. Well, I found out that this team swung at pitches that were chest level. So I just started throwing the ball high. And when they'd swing, they'd either swing under it, strike out, or pop it up, because they'd swing just under it and pop it up. And they weren't scoring, and they were getting frustrated. And I was laughing. I think the umpire was even calling it a strike. He was calling a high strike. And so that's how we made it through the game. And we were winning. I believe it was 5-0. And I was like, oh, my gosh, we're going to win this game. In the last inning, I gave up 6 back-to-back home runs. No. I gave up 7 back-to-back home runs. We were up 6-0. I gave up 7 back-to-back home runs. 7. I was demoralized. Bottom of the ninth, there's no way we're going to come back now. We struggled to get the 7 runs. My coach is trying to pump me up, saying, hey, we did our best, yada, yada, yada. And then he said, don't worry, it was a fun game. I was just so upset. Our first guy got on second base. That means if we get a hit and tied up, that's awesome. Coach said he would pitch from then on out, because I didn't want to pitch. I wanted to sit on the bench and cry. I was so upset. God let the team down, I felt. And so he said, don't worry, we got a man on second. If we get a base hit, we'll get a run. The next 2 people struck out. And guess who was up? Me, the guy who the ball hits more than he hits it. And I was like, no. And it was the same situation. I mean, the pitcher's just throwing it in there. I'm swinging, fouling it off because I cannot get my bat around fast enough to hit that ball. He's burned it in there. And I'm just so upset. Well, then they throw it low and inside. And I hate those pitches because I can't hit them. I was never supposed to hit them. Those were supposed to hit me. I golf swinged it. I remember up in the air. And I was so mad because it was a pop fly. And I threw my bat down. Well, then if you throw your bat down, the umpire throws you out, and my dad looks at you disapprovingly. And I was like, I don't want either of those. So I just took off running like, oh, I meant to do that because I was trying to run real fast. But it doesn't matter if he threw me out of the game because that was the last out. I wasn't thinking. So when I hit first base, I did have some speed. I hit first base. Everyone started cheering. Everyone. Like, when it looked like there was going to be an upset, the other teams started looking and seeing like number one's going to lose. They weren't really cheering for us. They were cheering against the number one team. So they would have a chance to win. And so I hit first base. Everyone cheered. Well, I thought that dude dropped the ball. So I just took off for second. I was like, I can definitely make it to second base if he dropped the ball. Because, like I said, I had speed. And I would steal bases all the time. If I could get on base, I could steal bases. So I'd run, get to second. Well, as I got to second, I noticed no one was covering second. I took off to third. I was like, oh, my gosh, I'm going to get a triple here. And so I'm trying to find out where the ball is. Well, my coach is jumping up and down. Everyone is coming out of the bullpen, jumping up and down. And I'm going, guy, I'm yelling at him. I said, where is the ball? I'm so mad at them because they're not telling me to slide, get down, slide, or keep going. I know what's going on. So I'm trying to look over my shoulder after I turn second base. And I'm yelling, where's the ball? And I'm looking behind me. Behind me, I see the right fielder, and he's just sitting there. And I thought, oh, my gosh, he hurt himself. He probably twisted his ankle or something. And he hurt himself, and center field had to run over there. I probably hit it to the corner, and center field's going to get it. I was like, oh, my gosh, I'm going to get a triple out of this, But I'm trying to find center fielder because I can't find him anywhere. That's because he was walking in. And it took me to – when I hit third base, that's when I realized I'd hit a home run. I'd never hit a home run before. So I didn't get to enjoy a home run trot. I was trucking around those bases because I thought for sure it's a pop fly. He dropped it. And so here it is. It's a home run. Everyone can see me, and they see me run as hard as I can around the bases because it's obvious I don't know I hit a home run. It was obvious to everyone. I'm sure people got a big laugh out of that. And my trot from third to home was like, did it go over? How? Did he toss it over? Did he throw it over the fence? Because I didn't think I hit it that hard. And you hit it on that sweet spot of the bat, you don't feel the vibration of it. And I didn't. So that's why I thought it was a little dink. I didn't realize I hit that. But I hit my first home run. Now, that was on November 26, 1995. And how do I know that? I have the baseball right here. It says home run ball number 1. Like I was going to forget how many home runs. I had to start numbering my home runs because I'm going to start hitting a billion of them now. So it says home run ball number 1, 8-7 was the win. And then it says 9, 26, 95. It says, oh, it only says 340 feet. Well, that's probably right then. I thought I exaggerated on that, but that says 3, right? That's not 5. That's a 3.
That's a 3.
Yeah, okay. I thought I exaggerated.
You need to write.
Well, this is my original writing. But anyway, and that's where I hit it. Yeehaw. But anyway, I said 340 feet, which was the distance to right field probably at the time. Or a little bit farther than that. Maybe it's 330 feet, and I put another 10 on there. But I know I bet I barely cleared that fence. But someone did retrieve the home run ball because they were really excited because we'd won the game. We got killed in our next game, by the way.
So it doesn't matter.
But I got a home run, and I'm the now my brother Jeremy is the only brother. Oh, except for Caleb. Caleb never hit a home run either. Me, Jordan, and Bray all hit home runs. I'm so glad and this was my second to the last season. Basically, my last season, I came back when I was 19, but I had a part-time job and I had to work nights. So I was like at 2 games. The team didn't know who I was. Dad stopped showing up because his knees started acting up then, and so it was pointless. I didn't really show up the next time. But I got my home run, my 1 home run ball. So crazy stuff. Let me tell you. But that is my number 4, Mrs.
And you just gave me an idea for an honorable mention.
Okay.
So, because I've already done my
list. Does it involve me?
Yes.
Okay, then you can't say it yet because we haven't got there. I may have it on mine.
I said honorable mention.
I say good day.
That's the last.
I say good day.
That's my line. Stop.
Okay.
Okay, so what are we on? Number 3?
We're on number 3.
Okay. So I'm going to need your help with this.
Go ahead.
My number 3 is, once again, these are things I had to think of last minute because I just found out, this morning. So the first thing that came to my mind was the Star Wars ride in Disney World. And the reason it's on here is because, what is it? The Rebel? Is it the Rebel Spy?
This is a great story. I totally forgot about this story.
Is it the Rebel
Someone
Spy?
is the Rebel Spy
Okay.
on Star Tours every time.
They pick a random person.
You better tell this story right because it's hilarious.
I will. But you don't know who it is. So this was our honeymoon, I guess, when we went our first time.
It was one of those times.
We went and he was like, "Oh, I love this ride. Somebody's gonna be the Rebel Spy," and I've always wanted to be it since I was a little kid. Like I've always wanted to be the Rebel Spy.
I told you this afterwards, but go ahead. Yes, you're correct.
Okay, so I didn't. Anyway, so we're on this ride. I had no idea what this ride consisted of because I was freshly new to Star Wars.
This is a great story.
So we're going through this. We're on this ride or whatever, and then all of a sudden it's like they put the picture of the Rebel Spy up there, and it's me, and I'm like, wait, what? And Matt's like, oh, like I just won the lottery or something.
But you didn't know if that was a good thing or not.
Okay, so I went with it, and I was like, yay. And then after we got off the ride, I was like, Matt, was that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, people are going up to her going, people are, and I was like, I don't want to be the cheer. She was the holiday cheermeister.
Well,
Everyone loved her. And I was like, I always wanted, she went, is that a good thing or a bad thing? She didn't even know. I was like, oh.
Is that a good person or a bad person? And he was like, no, it's good. Like, I've always wanted to be that person, and you got to be it. So
it's funny that you didn't even know, but you didn't care, and you got to be it.
I didn't care. I was like, oh, okay, yay. do I get anything when I get off the ride? But no, you don't. You just get your face on the screen for everybody to see. Anyway, so flash forward to the next time, which was what, 3 years later?
And we were laughing about the last time we got on the ride.
We go back to Disney World, and we're about to get on the ride again, and Matt's like, man, because we were laughing about me being chosen.
Oh, can I mention something here?
Yeah.
I was wearing my Star Wars Expanded Universe. I had an Expanded Universe shirt. Where'd that go? Anyway, I used to have a Star Wars Expanded Universe t-shirt, and someone goes, oh, I don't like your shirt. And he knew about Star Wars. He worked for Star Tours. I went, well, you better, because you guys are Expanded Universe too. But I've never seen a Disney person say something negative about me.
So anyway,
go ahead.
So we're laughing about this, and we get on the ride, and I'd completely forgotten what this ride consisted of. And then all of a sudden, it was time to pick the Rebel Spy again, and my face pops up on the screen, and I was like, what are the odds? Twice. And I'm sitting right next to a person wearing a Star Wars shirt. I was not wearing anything Star Wars, but I got picked again. So that's when our marriage kind of put a dent in, because he got so mad at me. Like, I'm asking to be this Star Wars person, but it was fun for me because I knew it was something that he wanted, but I got chosen for it. So we're laughing at it when we get off or whatever. That was when I was mean about it, but it was hilarious. So then we go back again. When was the last time we went back?
I can't remember, but yeah.
But we went back for Christmas. We went back again, and this was what, 3 years ago? Mm-hmm. And we get on the ride again, and I was like, Matt, what were the odds of being chosen twice to do this? And sure enough, I got chosen again. Every time we ride that ride, I get chosen to be the Rebel Spy.
I don't remember it a third time, but I believe you.
Yeah, because we were laughing about it, but it's hilarious. So now we try to see how long we can go before I'm not chosen.
All right, that's a good one.
But it was fun. It was fun for me because I still don't know anything about it, but I know it gets under his skin.
It was funny. It was funny. It was funny. All right, so a few comments. Matt, when he was 18, must have been like 100 years ago. I knew you'd like that. And then Snoopy said, I'm on Team Charlie Brown. I was Charlie Brown himself, really. And then do I read other science fiction book types? Yes, Javi. Dune, Kevin J. Anderson stuff like that. Anyway, so let's go to my numero 3 here. These all happen to be with the misses. The first one, and it's a two-parter, but I split it up.
Okay.
Because there are two separate stories. We were moving her washer, me and Caleb from Saturday Morning Samoflange. And as we were moving all her stuff out of her apartment, she lived upstairs. So Caleb and I are moving things off. We have the big stuff, couches and stuff like that on dollies, and we're pushing it down. There's this guy there who's saying, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. You guys are doing it wrong. Because we were pulling things down on the steps. We weren't pushing it down. He said, you got to push it down the steps. I went, dude, I don't think that works. I think it would pop loose and it would fall. He went, no, if you want to do it the hard way, you just do it the hard way, son. Y'all working super hard. And he would not let up. Every time he goes, oh, here you go, doing it the long, hard way. Takes a while, doesn't it? And I was getting so irritated. I said, Caleb, we'll do it. I said, okay, we're going to do it your way. He went, good. Yeah, I don't know why you want to be working hard. And so I was like, okay. I said, we're just afraid it may fall. He said, it ain't going to fall. And so I said, well, Caleb, get on this end. And it was her washer. And so Caleb puts his hand on the washer and we're going down. Of course, we're pushing it down. We hit the first bump. The strap snaps and off comes the washer. Caleb, I don't know why, jumped because I guess he got scared, but he jumps on top of the washer.
Save my washer.
He jumps on top of the washer. And then I swear, everything looked like slow motion. It was just like the end scene of Die Hard. Hans Gruber looked at me, Caleb had the same face as Hans Gruber from Die Hard, put his hand out to me and went, because as he fell, riding that washer down the stairs, it was the fun, because Caleb went, oh, and went all the way down the stairs and went, bang! He went, and he didn't say anything. He's like, yeah, y'all did that wrong. It wouldn't happen if y'all had done it right. I said, oh, whatever. And we started pulling everything else down. But that was really funny. I was hoping I was hoping Caleb would be here because, of course, two of them have to involve him, too.
I'm going to add to that story. One, I had sentimental value to that washer. Ooh. And two, they didn't tell me about it until afterwards when it wasn't working.
Well, we didn't know. But it did break it. We didn't know. We thought it was okay, but it did break it.
You could have been like, hey, heads up. It kind of went down the stairs.
Hey, heads up. That guy is a douche. Anyway.
He's a really nice man.
Well, he wasn't that day. Anyway, go right ahead. Number 3.
Oh, okay, so this one's me. This one's not you. But I auditioned for a show at our local theater, which was Peter Pan.
I know the story. Go ahead. It's good. You have good stories, missus.
These are just ones I think of off the top of my head. But anyway, so I auditioned for a specific part, and it was me and this other person up for it. And I had told them, the director, beforehand, I was like, look, if for some reason I don't get this part that I really want, if y'all don't have a choreographer, I would be willing to try to do choreography, because I've danced my whole life, so it's something I love to do. So it was me and this other person up for the role, and needless to say, she got it. But they called me in the office. Usually they call you and say, hey, sorry you didn't get the part, but we want you to be chorus or whatever. But this one, he called me in his office specifically, and he broke the news that I didn't get the part, but then he was like, but we want you to be the choreographer for the show. And as upset as I was that I didn't get the part, that opened a new door for me, because
you were still upset that you got asked to do that instead of being the show.
I was a little upset for a long time.
I was like, you're the only one getting paid who auditioned.
But that was my first time to show them what I could do, and then since then I've been I've choreographed a show or two each season at the theater. So this was something that something good that came out of something that was not good for me at the time. But anyway, so that's my number 3 of fun, crazy things that's happened.
That's a good one. I remember that too. And it's funny because you weren't happy at first. But then you love doing that show. You love choreographing the show.
But that's one of the best shows that I've done. Yeah. That one and another show that I choreographed are the top 2 that I hear people talk about.
And you never would have gotten the chance. Like now she's going to be can we say?
Yeah.
She's going to be choreographing Sister Act here. She's actually going with a group of people, the director and a few other people to
stage manager.
Yeah, the missus is touring. She'll be in Minneapolis in January. Anyone who wants to meet her, the missus is traveling.
Just, come up and tell me that you listen or you watch his stuff, so I don't get freaked out by random people.
No, just go up to her and say, can I give you a hug?
I like hugs.
I like hugs. I like Ninja Turtles. Anyway, all right. So my number 2. Wait, that was your number 2?
That was, yes.
Okay, so my number 2 is a follow-up. When we got the new washer.
No.
We got the new washer. I'd hooked it up, and it wasn't running warm water, and I didn't understand why. So I kind of fiddled with the wires, and then it wasn't running at all. Like the power wasn't running. I was like, what did I do? And I switched the wires back. Nothing was working. I was like, what the heck? And my brother, who was in town, had just installed his own washer. He goes, oh, dude, I think I know what you did. You probably crossed some wires. I said, well, please, can you come over? He's like, yeah, dude, I'll come over. Caleb came over from Saturday morning Samoflange because he has nothing better to do with his time. At that point, he didn't. So we're all looking at the washer. And I said, dude, and my brother's puzzled. He went, no, you set it up right. I don't know why it's not working. And we're just sitting there puzzled over it. And then I realized this sucker, I must have tripped the breaker on it when I switched wires, because I bet it doesn't have any. I bet there's no power coming through that outlet. And I said, watch. I said, we probably tripped the breaker. And I grabbed a hammer from the toolbox and I touched it to the live wires. I said, now see, that would have shot me. I said, we don't have any power coming from it. I said, I bet when I switched it, a spark happened. I bet I tripped the breaker. And so I said, you guys wait here. So I went outside and I went out to the box and I saw that the breaker was tripped. So I called Caleb. I said, hey, Caleb, I'm here right now. It was tripped. There, it's on. I said, now try it. When I say try it, I meant turn it on. Turn on the washer. Guess what they thought try it meant? Try it thought they meant to grab a hammer and smash it against the live wires on the back of the washer. So that's what my brother did, not Caleb, Bray. And that's what Bray did. He hit it with a hammer, or just touched it with a hammer, and he electrocuted himself and my brother. They didn't die, but what I heard on the phone with Caleb was, okay, he said try it. I hear this, yeah, and the phone cuts off, and the breaker goes, chunk. It got tripped again. I was laughing so hard. I ran back into the room and said, you idiots, did you hit it with the hammer? Because I knew exactly what they did. They said, we thought that's what you meant. I said, no, I meant turn it on. Try it, turn it on.
But okay, so when that was going on, my best friend and I were in the living room going through boxes, unpacking things, and we could hear them talking or whatever because we knew they were supposed to be setting up the washer. And then all of a sudden the lights went and then back on. And I was like, what is that? I didn't know anything about it until it was a while before you even told me.
It was funny because we were all laughing about it in the kitchen. Because my brother it went like this. He went, he kind of stiffened up and fell back against the wall, and he was like, and my other brother, Caleb had his hand on the washer, so the electrical current hit him, and he got a little bit of a shock. And so they're both laughing because they just electrocuted themselves. It was the stupidest thing ever. Why would you do that? I don't know. Anyway, it was really hilarious. Mrs. Someone wants to know if you've seen Last Jedi.
That's the new one? And no, I haven't.
Is it the new one? I can't remember. Anyway.
I had to think about it. No, I haven't seen it yet, but I do plan on seeing it.
THX 1138, someone actually did tell me that they thought there were too many jokes in the new one. But anyway, let's see. Anything else here? I'm going to get to my number one here in just a moment. Did my brother get super speed from being electrocuted? Like the Flash. No. That would be funny, though. I've never thought about that. Okay, so let's move on to my number one. My number one. Oh, that was your number one, right?
No, that was your number two.
Oh, I'm sorry. Your number one, then.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
Mrs.
Mrs. My bad. Mrs. number one.
This one is probably the highlight of my life.
Oh, boy.
It was my last year of college. And we did not participate by going to the football games because our team here sucks really, really bad. But we decided this night that we were going to go. So they were giving away free tuition to one student. And so I've never won anything in my life. And so when you go in, they swipe your badge, and that's how I guess they keep up with who's there, whatever. Anyway, so we're watching this game, having a really, really, really good time because we were with a lot of friends. And anyway, all of a sudden, they came to announce the winner of free tuition, and they called my name. And I was like,
oh, yeah, I remember that.
Are you freaking kidding me?
Because we were kind of shocked. We're like, did they just say your name for free tuition for college?
Yeah, but I won free tuition.
Yeah,
well, free tuition.
That, to be honest, though, that probably should be number one for you.
It is my number one.
That was incredible. Yeah, that was incredible.
That's the first and only time I've ever won anything in my life.
Shocked.
But I needed it, and it was so amazing.
Yeah, it was. That was amazing. Good one.
I will always remember that.
My number one spans from a few stories, and all of them come from Orlando, the theme parks.
Oh, I know where this is.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. So the first one I'll just say happened when we were kids. The first time I ever went to Disney World, I was young. My brother and I went on the Peter Pan ride. We thought it was amazing. My brother was goofing around, Jeremy, and slipped underneath the safety harness and tried to reach out to get Wendy to say, oh, Wendy's like, help me, Peter, help me. And he reached out, oh, save you, Wendy. And he almost fell out of the stupid ship. And I had to, he caught on to himself. He slipped and he was holding on. I was like, oh, hold on. And I helped him pull him back into the bucket. But the thing was, everything was made to look little, like you're far high above the ground. Well, we didn't know how high we were. It wasn't but a 6-foot drop probably, right? But we thought it was like, 20 feet down. So I really thought he was going to die. And he was scared too. And we were like, oh no, they're going to kick us off because they saw that you were out of the buggy. No one, they said, did you enjoy the ride? Right. Yes, ma'am. And we just took off. But I remember he almost fell out of the Peter Pan ride by goofing off. And then years later, we went one of our times to go see my little sister who was working at Disney World at the time. And we went on something called Test Track. And it was a 3-seater, and she just happened to meet up with us at the right time. She got in the single rider lane.
It seats 4 in
Huh.
the ride.
Okay.
But she went with us since
it's
she knew.
3 on a row.
She was in the back. We were in the front and she was in the back.
Huh. Okay. I was with her though. This is the weird thing. So we'll have to ask her. Yeah, because I remember she was with us on the same row. So I thought it was 3 to a row. We'll ask her. But I know because I remember she was right next to us. And she was like, hey, do you guys know that when the ride, because the ride had just started, she's like, when the ride starts, your seatbelts won't come unbuckled. She went, watch. And she hit it and it came unbuckled. She went, huh, I didn't know that. And so she tries to buckle it again. But it won't buckle. It won't buckle. And so it was a malfunction. And so she was like, oh my gosh. And I was like, oh, and this car hits 60 miles per hour when it gets on the track. I mean, 60 miles per hour and it spins around it takes turns at 60 miles per hour. And so when we got on the big test track, I remember she was holding on to me and holding on to the dashboard. And she went, and it was the funniest thing. I said, dude, when we take our first left, she's going to go flying out of the car. I was laughing. I had my hand over, like a seat. I was grabbing onto the rail. I had my hand over as a seatbelt, but I was laughing. She's like, oh, it was the funniest thing. We laughed about it afterwards. And she told me, hey, my seatbelt doesn't work. They said, okay. Remember then they put a bag over our car so they could remove it.
Well, technically it did work, but she just undid it right when the ride started.
Well, the ride had started actually a little bit. And remember, she said they don't come on, because she was showing us, these things don't come off when the ride starts. And she hit it and went, what? And it just malfunctioned and released the belt from her. So it was really funny. But there are some other funny parts actually with her as well. I have pictures that I'm going to go through. I'm going to talk about them. If you want to see the actual pictures, you got to check up our live YouTube show. Of course, I got to check with the missus. I want to show, we went on a dolphin excursion on our trip. Can I show this one? I think it's this one. And yes. Megan loves dolphins. I am scared to death. Now, in the picture I'm about to show, and folks, I'll describe it to you. In this picture, you see the missus, she's getting kissed by a dolphin. She is super happy because A, she's with a dolphin, and B, she's with me. Not really. She's with the dolphin. That's why she's really smiling. Now, if you look at my picture, I have this forced grin on my face and my shoulders. If you look at my shoulders, you will see that I am in no way relaxed at this moment. I am a man who is faking it and trying to have fun. But I am scared to death of that big fish dolphin. It's awful. Have you not seen those pictures in a while?
I haven't seen them in a while. But they were so nice. Those dolphins were not going to harm you.
They tried to bite me.
They did not.
Yes, they did.
Oh my goodness.
They did. I barely survived.
That's a dolphin kiss that I have. Oh, can we go back?
Okay. Anyway, so now we're going to get to the good stuff here.
I'm scared.
Can I show yours first?
Not that one.
Not that one? I love that one.
I hate that one.
Okay. Not allowed to show the one where I'm acting like an idiot.
You can cover me up and you
whatever. This one. So we went on the Jurassic Park ride. At the end of the Jurassic Park ride, there is a 50-foot drop, like Splash Mountain. And there is a Tyrannosaurus Rex. It's roaring at you, and then you take this big, long dive down this, waterfall. It's funny because in the next picture, you see me reacting to the 50-foot drop, and then you see the missus reacting not to the 50-foot drop because she didn't care about that. She cares about the robotic T-Rex that is roaring at us.
And it was so loud. That thing had huge teeth.
Where I'm doing nothing but worried about what the heck am I going to do about this 50-foot drop. I am not happy in that picture. So that was us. Now, this was her favorite trip to the Disney World. I'm going to let you choose which one you like better.
Hold on, let me look.
That one's a funny one. I'm showing both of these regardless. It's taken on the same day. And that was a funny one, too. You love them both.
Do that one first.
Okay, I thought you picked that one first. We went on the Rock and Roller Coaster my first time. Rock and Roller Coaster goes from 0 to 60. It is awful.
So much
I do enjoy it now, but I didn't realize how fast 0 to 60 was. So my face on this, my eyes are huge. They're so big. And this, I am just making.
That's your sister in the brown behind you.
My sister is in brown behind me, throwing up the, deuces or the rock star thing. Megan is, of course, laughing, smiling, having a great time. But, of course, my eyes are saucers.
That, I love it. You know what? That was money well spent buying that picture.
You could not stop laughing.
It is
when
hilarious.
you saw that picture, you were crying. You were laughing so hard. Can we please get it? I'll pay for it. I don't care. I want it so bad. And you were just crying and laughing.
So funny.
Now, the next one and the last one before we wrap up here is we went on Tower of Terror. Tower of Terror drops you down an elevator shaft, 5 stories, 6 stories. How tall? You're way up there. You're falling down a dark elevator shaft. Not cool. This was my second time on it. I did not like this ride ever. In fact, the lady even said when she saw the picture, she went, "So you didn't have fun, did you?" But anyway, so here is the picture where you see, well, hold on, I'm going to show you this in a minute. My wife having a great time. My sister having a great time. Me praying to Jesus because I do not want to die. Let's see if that'll focus on there. I don't know. I can't hold it still.
My arm was so bruised because you were holding it so tightly.
There it is. Yeah. So I am absolutely not happy to be on that. I have my eyes closed. I'm holding on to her handlebar and her hand. There's a handlebar between us. And I am terrified. But
my hair is so bad.
My stinking.
Why didn't you tell me?
Goodness. But my wife and my sister having the bestest of time.
That's
so
my favorite picture.
that is the number one most. Oh wait, and there's another one. We don't have a picture of it. What was it? It wasn't Disney. It was at Universal.
Oh, the Rip Rocket roller coaster.
Yes, horrible.
It was a video, and I begged you to get that video.
Anyway, no, it was terrible.
So
anyway, so the Rip Rocket ride goes 9 degrees straight up, and then drops you 9 degrees straight down. You're facing the floor. There is no harness. There's just a little brace. You're free falling. There's no cart you get in. You just get in a bucket seat, and they just snap you into the bucket seat and hope for you not to die.
You get to pick your rock song that you want to listen to as
you get to pick your music that you want to die to. What's the last? It's like the last man's request. What would you like to listen to before you die? Your final meal here, so to speak. So anyway, we're doing this, and we're third or fourth back, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad we're not number one because there is nothing. Number one, you just have no seats in front. At least behind you, you have a seat in front of you that I can grab onto. I was like, can you imagine those poor saps up front? I mean, I told you that. I said I would die. Well, then a lady and her son got up and they said, we're sorry. We can't ride in the front. We just can't do it. Will someone please switch with us? And I'm like, whatever. And this woman has her hand up going, we will. Put your hand down. That was the one time we almost got a divorce. I was so mad. And then we had to go because they were like, oh, okay, you'll switch with them? Okay. So they switched us out and she was so happy. We're going up. In the video, they videotape your potential death on the ride, and they sell it to you for $40. The whole a minute and a half ride.
That would have been the best $40 ever.
But anyway, we're driving up. We're going up the tower, and I have my eyes closed. I know this is going to suck. I'm just upset. I'm worried. I'm opening my eyes, looking around. I'm just feeling sick. And the missus, for her part, was getting a little nervous too. You can see it on her face.
Straight up.
She was like, ooh. And Mrs. kind of looking around. She's kind of solemn too. And then in the video, you can tell because the sun rotates around our faces, we're getting to the crest. I open my eyes. Now, remember, the roller coaster only has the first few up. The rest of them are down on the other side still. So we are hanging several feet up in the air straight from the ground, looking straight down at the ground. And we're about to rush to it. And when I see that and we start rushing down to it, my eyes go really big and I go, ugh, and I clench my eyes. I'm like, no. And my wife's expression was the exact opposite. You closed her eyes for a little bit. You went, ooh, cringe. And then you look, and as you're rushing down to your death, you open your arms up like you're going to give the Grim Reaper a big sloppy French kiss when you see him soon.
Or a hug.
And no, that was not a hug smile you had. She was like, we're all gonna die! Yay! Like a kid with a sugar rush is what she looked like. And she was just thrilled. And as the ride kept going, I was getting more and more pissed. And she was laughing more and more like, yeah!
And singing, had a great song.
And then at the end of it, she is, and if you need to watch the YouTube video of this, but she's going, shaking me, yeah, looking at other people going, yeah, high five and everything. She was just like so pumped about it. She said, we're gonna ride it again. It's so fluffy. You know, I mean, you were like that girl when we got off that ride. You were like, oh, I was like, no, never, ever again. I will never ride that ride again. It was an awful ride.
He'll ride it again.
I will never do it.
He will.
Never.
And we're gonna get the video.
Never do it.
That's the thing.
Never.
You have to ride it so I can buy the video.
Never gonna happen.
Do you have honorable mention?
I don't. You stole my only honorable mention. Go right ahead. What are your two honorable mentions?
Okay, real quick.
You have to be quick. Go for it.
I thought we were on time. Honorable mention is when we went to the Rangers game. This is when CJ Wilson was a pitcher for the Rangers, and I wore my CJ Wilson Rangers jersey. And they were warming up, practicing. He was in the outfield, and they were throwing the ball, with each other and stuff. And I know what it was. Somebody they were practicing batting, and somebody hit the ball over to where he was, and he picked it up, and he was going to give it to somebody who was just watching, and he was trying to find somebody to give it to. And I was kind of further down, and I was like, CJ! And he looked at me. I turned around and showed him my jersey that I was wearing, his jersey. And he pointed to me, and he ran over, and he tossed the ball at me.
That was a cool experience, actually. It was funny because they went on to go to the World Series that night. They won the ALCS and went to the World Series. And the little inscription on the ball says, yes. CJ Wilson pointed at me, walked over, and handed me this ball. And then as a side note, or like in what's it called? The semicolons, what are they called? Yeah, I can't remember what parentheses where she is. Rangers went on to go to the World Series that night. Like that was something little. The important thing was CJ pointed at her and gave her the ball.
CJ was one of my favorite baseball players. That was a huge thing for me.
Yeah.
So that's I should have thought of that's what I was thinking about when you were talking about your baseball story.
Hello.
That's what I thought of, okay. And that should have made my list because I probably would have been number 2. But then the last honorable mention I have of my fun and crazy things that I've done in my life is
get married to this guy.
That's not on my top list.
Oh.
But it's on top 10.
Okay, anyway.
But so my honorable mention is going to Arizona and meeting some of my friends and actually getting to be on the Princess of the Universe. No, that's yours.
Hey! Princess of the Universe podcast.
The Saga of Steve Rogers podcast.
This is so stupid. All right, so
if you haven't checked it out, listen to it.
All right, that's awesome. That's awesome. All right, folks, that is all the time we have for now. We will see you next time on more Morning Samoflange 100, baby. Woo! Woo! Woo!
The only reason I let you do that is because it's the 100th episode.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm getting kisses after this.
Bye, guys.
And that is it for Saturday Morning Samoflange. You can listen to that. It will be up soon. We do have some time for a few questions here. He said, Quantum says, Matt in that photo looked like he was kidnapped and forced to watch Filoni's Clone Wars over and over and over again. How is Mrs. Wilkins doing with Matt? She's doing all right, I guess. Mrs. Wilkins is attractive when she was young. Thank you. She's still young today.
Really?
Watch it, Michael. Watch it. Yeah, my Tower Terror video is like me. What was that me on the Tower Terror watching Force Awakens?
Probably both.
Let's see. Yeah. So anyway, does anyone have any questions they would like to tell the missus? Since we're up, I mean, she's here.
Very briefly.
Very briefly, she says, because she is so important. Mrs., what are we doing today?
Picking up my nephew, taking him to meet Santa Claus, and taking him to see Christmas lights.
That should be fun. which will be featured on probably Yub Nub's holiday specials. Probably where I'm gonna put those. So okay, all right. So any questions? None right now.
Good.
But that's fine.
Thanks, guys.
Okay. So yeah, guys, it's been a lot of fun. 100 episodes of Saturday morning Samoflange. Watch out because I think our next Prince of the Universe hits on Christmas Day. So wild. And the next Prince of the Saturday morning Samoflange comes out New Year's Eve. So we have a bunch of fun ideas. There's a ton of topics coming up. Let's see. Do you think that Matt looks like a roguish one within that beard?
I'm guessing that's the reference to Mark Hamill's character.
That's exactly. How did you know?
No, is that?
Yeah, that's Mark Hamill's character.
Okay.
How'd you know that?
Because I saw the movie. Well,
how'd you know his name was?
Not this new movie, but he was, scruffy in the last movie.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
so that's what it means. Roguish one in the beard.
I love
yeah.
Mark Hamill, so I mean, if he can look like Mark Hamill.
There you go.
Sure.
She likes the beard, so
I love it. I love it. I don't want him to shave it.
Thank you, Manuel. He says big fan here. All right. Anyone else with any other questions for the missus before we end our live chat? By the way, this will be up soon, as will what else? Oh, I'm gonna get the Matt chat video up soon too. Anyway,
okay.
All right. So Mrs.
Mrs.
is gonna go here. That's it. Hey, folks, I had a great time. We will see you. Well, I'll see you next week with more videos, more fun. See ya.